Hey, what's up guys? John here. Warren Buffett just cashed out $28.7 billion worth of stock just 2 days ago. He's anticipating a large market crash and he's getting ready for it. When you see what's happening in the real estate market, it looks like he's right in the money. There's more homes available on the market for sale in December, walking into the holidays, than in June, July, and August of 2021 and 2022. We're at a 2-year high of home inventory. When does this happen in a normal, healthy market walking into the holidays? It doesn't. In fact, 22% of all active homes on the market right now are seeing price reductions. The market is changing and it's changing very, very quickly. Home sellers are realizing the rising cost of insurance and taxes are far greater than they anticipated. At the same time, the job market's changing and student loans are becoming more and more expensive to service. We're walking into a very, very, very big problem for many home sellers and a very big opportunity for smart and savvy investors getting ready to pounce in 2024. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what's going on and why I believe this market crash we're walking into is far greater than we've experienced in 2008 and 2009. This bubble that has been forming over 2020 and 2021 and 2022 that's getting ready to pop is going to be explosive. I'm going to break it down for you. Please hit the like button. Hit the like button. YouTube will share this content to educate more people about what's going on in the U.S. housing market and real estate market. And if you'd like to fix your credit to position yourself for the greatest wealth transfer in American history, we'd love to help you at my company, GreatCreditFast.com. That's GreatCreditFast.com. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, a negative item in a credit report, go to GreatCreditFast.com. Click the link in the description just below this video. Schedule a free strategy session to position yourself for this massive wealth transfer that's going to take place most likely in 2024. Take a look at this. So, new home listings in the U.S. jumped 5.8% during the 4 weeks ending November 26th, their biggest year-over-year increase since the summer of 2021, according to Redfin. Now, currently, mortgage costs are so high, so expensive, that some sellers have no choice but to cut prices, and unseasonably high, 22% are doing so. So out of every 100 homes on the market, 22 of them are doing price reductions. This came out yesterday, Fortune magazine. When you look at what's happening what happened between 2004 and 2009, that great financial crisis, the big bubble was forming in the early 2000s, and then all of a sudden it started deflating, and then it popped. And then home sellers are chasing the market down in 2008, 2009, 2010, and we saw a bottom around 2011. The last year and a half, we've seen the same exact thing, where home prices are slowly deflating. Home inventory is slowly increasing. Every single month, it's getting more and more and more. But when you're looking at what's happening with student loans and you're looking at what's happening with the U.S. consumer, it's not going to be the same exact situation. We're going to see more sellers being forced to sell their properties and do so quickly. Now look at what happened between 2004 and 2009. Right? Home supply started growing while home price appreciation slowed. Not only were the months of supply of high homes, there was a buildup of shadow inventory of homes of borrowers facing foreclosure even before job losses started. Now, if you look at forbearances, the millions of properties that just ended forbearance, roughly 2 million properties are in forbearance. That was November 30th, about 2 weeks ago. You still have forbearances on VA home loans. You're starting to see a lot of really interesting situations where they're pulling back and not disclosing true data of the foreclosures in this country. Home builders are only listing 1 or 2 or 3 homes in entire communities that they have for sale. They might list 1 or 2 listings on, the MLS or Zillow, and they might have 100 homes in that community for sale, right? When you're seeing stuff like this, you're seeing you're being deceived about what's really happening in the housing market, what's really happening by the U.S. consumer. And when you see, smart investors like Warren Buffett liquidating $28.7 billion in stock, you're seeing, Walmart hairs, you're seeing all these this CEO of Salesforce, CEO of, Larry Ellison, Oracle, all the execs at Oracle unloading stock, Airbnb executives unloading stock. You're seeing all these people unloading. Why? Because it's downhill from here. And they want to sit in cash because they know this fiat currency that we have is going to get devalued further and further over the coming few years. The only thing that really matters is going to be hard real assets, right? And so the more cash they're sitting on, the more liquidity they have, the more options they'll have, right? They'll be able to go out there and pick up deals left, right, and center. Buy up companies, buy up competitors, buy infrastructure. This is what's going to happen. Corporations are going to grow into almost like governments over the next couple of years. So when you look at Warren Buffett liquidating $28.7 billion in stock, and then you see Warren Buffett is piling up cash because he sees a storm brewing and can't find bargains. Well, look at this. Who in their right mind is looking to buy a property today and spend 60% more than renting. Not many people are looking to do that, right? When that changes, that dynamic changes, you're going to start seeing more investors wanting to go out there and invest. And that's what's happening right now. So buying a starter home is 60% more expensive than renting in most major cities. That is absolutely insane. For context, if you're buying a $500,000 property, which is, a couple of years ago, that was a really, really, really nice house. Today, it's almost like a median price home. The average home in America is $419,000. So with a 6% down payment, which is the average down payment for a first-time buyer, 8% mortgage rate, you're looking at $4,193 a month. Like, that is a lot of money. That is insane how much money that is for an entry-level home, right? $4,300, $4,200, $4,500 a month if you factor in, the cost of being a homeowner. You're going to have repairs, you're going to have upkeep, you're going to have to cut the grass, you're going to have expenses, right? Being a renter, you don't have those expenses. You rent, and it's everything's landlord's responsibility in most cases, right? So $4,193 to buy that entry-level property. Now, what JP Morgan's saying is 99% of Americans will be financially worse off than they were pre-pandemic in March of 2024. So you think about this. Where do you want to be in March of 2024? You're going to want cash. You're going to want to have exceptional credit. You're going to want to put yourself in a situation to where you can make moves, because people are going to be forced to sell off assets. That's what's going to happen. People will be forced to sell. When you have owners of food banks saying that the lines are catastrophic, they're hitting all-time highs, the highest levels they've ever seen. It doesn't take a genius to see that people are going to be forced to, to sell things, right? It doesn't take a genius to see this. But when you look at what's happening right now, 28% of U.S. adults were forced to skip or delay medical care in 2022 because they could not afford to pay for it one day ago, right? This is according to the Federal Reserve. Right? Like, this is 20,000 banking employees were already cut in 2023, and this came out October. So if you look at October 23rd, that was probably ballpark 45 days ago. Like, what happened in the last 45 days? You have Wells Fargo looking to cut $1 billion worth of cost. Layoffs loom. They've already laid off 11,300 jobs so far this year, right? 1 week ago. You have Citigroup. Now, this came out November 6th, right? So that came out about a week and a half after this Forbes article saying 20,000 jobs. Well, now Citigroup is laying off 24,000 jobs, which is 10% of their workforce of, roughly 294,000 employees. And then you have small business bankruptcies on the rise. This came out December 7th. So if you think about it this way. If you have a situation where banks are laying off 50,000 employees, small bankruptcies for small businesses are on the rise, consumer credit card debt is at an all-time high, inflation is at an all-time high, wages are softening and interest rates are rising and banks are tightening up on lending standards, you have a recipe for disaster for small business, and you have a gold rush of opportunity for investors. That's what you have. People that are saying, oh, the market's not going to change, the market's not going to crash. Look, when you go out to a restaurant and you go to a hole-in-the-wall restaurant with a husband, a wife, and a kid, and it costs you $80, and you all got basically nothing, everything is so expensive. The basics are expensive. The cost of everything is through the roof. And we're in the silent depression. That's what we're in right now, silent depression, and it's slowly deflating. And in March, June, July of next year, things I think are going to get much, much, much more lucrative for investors and much harder for everybody else. And that's why people need to really prepare for this. So Americans' credit card debt hits a new record. What's changed post-pandemic, right? This came out October 31st. And they're saying, $1 trillion in credit card debt. We're almost at 1.1 trillion. And one of the smartest hedge fund, he probably is the smartest, he's the wealthiest, that's for damn sure. Ken Griffin, he made $4 billion last year. And he said in March of this year, he said something very interesting. Consumers still have an estimated $1 trillion in excess savings, but they're spending upward of $100 billion every month. That leaves them on track to exhaust their pandemic cash hoard in a matter of months. At the end of the year, in some sense, the punch is out of the bowl, he said, as this post-pandemic orgy of spending comes to an end. Well, here we are, end of the year. This is where we are right now. And you have 20% of all adults that have student loans. So you think about it this way. 20% of all adults have student loans. The average student loan payment, $503 every single month. 2 out of 3 Americans do not have $400 in the bank. So we're walking into a situation, it's really quite interesting to look at it. I called this the greatest rug pull of all time because it was. I didn't say this to be dramatic, But if you think about what happened, they flooded the U.S. economy with money. 40% of all USD was printed in circulation in 2020 and 2021, since this country was founded in 1776. So out of 250 years, almost half of all money was printed the last couple of years. And everyone thought they were filthy rich. They were buying stocks and that they didn't understand. They were buying crypto they didn't understand. NFT projects they're spending endless amounts of money on everything. They're buying second homes and big cars, and they're really investing. What's happening? All the money is slowly getting pulled out of the market. Interest rates are going through the roof, and everything is changing, right? That's what's happening. Everything is changing, but the debts are getting more expensive to service. And so all these assets that people purchased, many of them are going to have a hard time holding on to them in 2024 and 2025. Many are going to have a very, very, very hard time holding on to them. And so you have to ask yourself, what situation do you think is likely going to unfold? When you have universal basic income pilot programs increasing 700% from 2021 into 2023, I mean, you're talking 82 cities across America. 82 cities across America have them. In 2021, it was 11, right? What we're walking into is a dependence type of situation that's going to unfold here. We're going to see this big rug pull in the economy, and then universal basic income pilot programs and all of these different subsidy programs. Stimulus was only just the beginning of this. That wasn't the end. Stimulus programs, three-day work weeks. So they were talking about 4-day work weeks. It's all coming. You do not want to have that. Trust me. If you are an entrepreneur and you enjoy, freedom, you enjoy travel, you enjoy investing, you enjoy having, a say in what you like to do, you're going to need a lot of money to do it. Right? 2024 and 2025, this big rug pull that's going to happen. You want to seize assets. You want to have a strong business. You want to put yourself in a really, really strong position financially, because at the end of the day, money buys options, and options is wealth in this new normal. What do you think about it? Drop below. Crazy, crazy times. I mean, this is absolutely nuts. When you have 20% of Americans now getting rug pulled on this student loan situation, you're going to see these people forced to sell off a lot of property, a lot of assets. Have a conversation about this in the comments below. If you'd like to fix your credit to position yourself for what I think is going to be the greatest wealth transfer in American history, we'd love to help you in my company, GreatCreditFast.com. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, you have any issue, any negative issue on your credit report, go to GreatCreditFast.com. One late payment could stay in your report for upwards of 7 years and drop your credit score a whopping 180 points. It's absolutely insane how much one little blemish can have on your credit report. And if you're thinking about getting a loan, you're going to want to walk into that bank knowing you're going to be able to get that loan, not hoping you can get the loan and getting some ridiculously high interest rate, putting yourself in a really, really bad situation, or maybe having high interest rate consumer credit card debt and not being able to get out of it because you can't get a balance transfer credit card. You want to put yourself in a position to where you have options. Go to GreatCreditFast.com. We'd love to help you. I'll catch you in the next video.